Being the Chief Animal Control Officer for the City of Bridgeport for the last 5 years and managing the largest municipal animal shelter in the state, housing 80 dogs and 35 cats, has opened my eyes to the ever-increasing need for animal safety and care education. About 3 years ago, my office manager and I created a nonprofit called A Hand for a Paw Incorporated, dedicated to a proactive approach to animal control. This all basically came together one day when we had an eye-opening opportunity to reach out to a classroom of children. We were invited to Beardsley School to speak to a classroom of children about animal responsibility and proper care. We were supposed to talk for about a half an hour, but instead we were there for over 2 hours. The children had so many great questions and stories, they never wanted us to leave. We really didn't have much planned out to discuss, let alone a curriculum. But we made with whatever printouts we could find, and it was such a great success. We basically talked about the importance of the basic duties of being a pet owner, dog licensing, and what it is for the importance of spaying and neutering, and we talked about the animals in the shelter that were ready up for adoption. Not only have we seen each and every one of those kids at the shelter to visit, but they also gave us updates on their own pets. They went home and taught their parents a few things about the importance of proper animal care, and they have really followed up. They were just so proud to be able to tell their parents that they know us and proudly tell them what they learned from us. The best way to reach adults is through their kids. That was when we decided that we wanted to raise money to purchase a real curriculum and go to school to teach our future pet owners what is entailed with owning a pet and how to properly react when approaching an animal.
Thank you, Chairman Fleischman. I want to thank you very much, Mr. Gonzalez, for coming up today. I realize that you are shorthanded at the shelter and that this is an important issue. I wanted to, there has been some pushback a little bit. I wanted to ask your opinion. Some people say that maybe this shouldn't be taught in school, or that this is not an appropriate place for this to be taught. My feeling is that there isn't really a lot of opportunities for young people to get this type of information other than at a school. Do you have any thoughts or feedback on that?
I was shocked when my office manager myself stepped into Jetty Tisdale School in Bridgeport to speak to a second grade class of children. Basically, all I wanted to speak about was pet awareness, and then about the shelter and what I do and safety around wildlife. I was hit with over 40 questions about animal cruelty, the fact that their fathers fought pit bulls, what inbreeding means, and the reference, which sticks to my head, to canine. All these children kept bringing up was canine as the most vicious dog. So finally, sitting around with the kids, having lunch with them after I spoke, canine as canine officers, because so many of these kids in these urban schools deal with the police coming into their neighborhoods, and they kept referring to these canine dogs as the meanest dogs there are and to stay away from them because they're negative. I was shocked. You'd really have to go in and see what goes on in these schools, and you'll be shocked at where their mentality is. We even recently spoke to a first grade class in Barnum School, and the first thing they brought up was pit bull fighting and how they know of people that have winning pit bulls. So I wouldn't really know where to start, what the grade level would be. It's shocking. Like I said, it blew my mind away. It's not what I expected from these first and second graders.
Do you know if my experience from reading is that this is something that could be offered like once a year, twice a year? Has that been your experience from some of the data you've read on this, on the humane education?
I tried to start right before summertime because of the fact that kids go out, especially with pet awareness, dealing with stray dogs, roaming dogs is a huge problem during the summer months. So what I try to do is come March, April is when I really start visiting the schools, and that's when I think it's most importantly to speak, because once the kids leave the schools, surprisingly in the summertime is when we get most of our dog bites. So at least once a year would be great.